everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Bucker Designs. I'm going to show you how to make this sweet little card. It features the Friends of the Forest stamp set. I'm using the sentiment, the deer, and the tree. We're also going to pull in some other dies as well. This stamp set is in the current spring 2022 catalog from Stampin' Up. There's a coordinating punch that goes with the deer. This is from the holiday catalog that is no longer active, but it is available still online. So the deer builder punch, if you don't have it, you can find it on the Stampin' Up website. All right, let's start with our stamping first. We're going to stamp this tree here on a piece of, if I can get it all over here, basic white. We're also going to stamp our deer. Let's do our deer first so we know where to stamp our tree. The tree we're going to cut out with a circle die. We're not going to get the whole tree within the circle, so we don't really need to worry too much about having enough paper. I just wanted to make sure I had enough paper for the deer. All right, so now let's stamp the tree. Let's see, I'm going to do that also in Memento Black. I'm using Memento ink because I am using Stampin' Blends, and Memento Black is the color you want to use when you are using your Stampin' Blends. They are alcohol markers, and so you don't want to use an alcohol ink. All right, so we're going to color. Let's see. I'm going to start with my deer, and I'm just going to use crumb cake for him. I'm going to start with my light crumb cake, and I am using the bullet tip end. And I like to just give the deer or the image a whole coating of light, whatever the light color I am using. Our blends come in twos, in pairs. You get a dark and a light of the same color, so that you can add different shades with the darker, the lighter. You can add shading. Our Stampin' Blends are so great. They really make everybody look like they know what they're doing. Sometimes when you color with a marker, it looks kind of streaky. It looks like maybe you used your markers from kindergarten. But these won't do that. They blend together and leave everything really nice and smooth. All right, now I'm going to take the dark, and I'm going to think that the sun is shining this way. So everything over kind of on this side will be darker. Anything that's covered, see how that's covered and this is covered, that will create a shadow, so that will be darker. That has a shadow, and of course the bottom. Okay. I think that's good. Now I'm going to take my light and blend that down. The lightest part would be right here on her back, where that sun is probably shining down. All right, you just want to blend those. And I could just, keep adding color until I got how I wanted it. I think that's pretty good. We'll stop there. Now for our tree, I'm going to use soft suede, and I'm only going to use one of the markers for this because it really doesn't need shading. I'm going to use my light soft suede marker and go all the way down, color in that trunk. You can decide which tip you like, which one you prefer. You'll figure it out as you play with them, if you like the brush end or the bullet end. I like the brush end. I feel like I have a little bit better control with that bullet end. All right, now I can see right here, I think I'm going to add a little bit more. You can add layers of color on to get deeper colors. And that's what I'm doing right there. All right, now the next part, I'm going to take my mint macaron. And I think what I'm going to do is just use my dark. I'm going to color all the leaves in, and then I'm going to go back and add color to some of them to make them a little bit darker. I'll speed up the camera because this is going to take quite a bit of time.
Look at how far we've traveled. Look at how much we've done. Truth is, one person can matter. Just look what ideas can become. The journey to our destination is what we remember.
Okay, as you can see, I went back and after I colored all of them, I colored over some random ones again, just to make us have a little bit darker leaves with the lighter leaves to kind of give us some depth. Okay, now before we bring our mini cut and emboss machine over, I want to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. I'm going to stamp it in soft suede. And I'm just going to do that on basic white. We're going to cut that out with a die from the Bouquet of Hearts. Bouquet of Hearts, Bouquet of Love. I can't remember the name, but it looks like this, and I will have it on the supply sheet on my blog post. I can't ever remember the names off the top of my head. I'm not off the top of my head. I'm not good at that. Okay, but I do have it written down. These are the Flowery Forever Flourishing. Try to say that 3 times fast. Forever Flourishing dies. We're going to use this one and this one. I have already cut out a stitched rectangle from Pale Papaya, and we're going to emboss that with one of our little embossing folders. This is the greenery die, and we're just going to use a circle for our tree. All right, so let's see if I can make room. We'll bring the little mini cut and emboss machine over. This machine is on sale this month, the month of March. If you don't have it, I highly recommend it. It is a fun little machine. It's very light and portable. I like it just because it's, I don't know, I just feel like it requires less muscle to go through. It's easy and it's cute. All right, so we've got that one. And now we're gonna do this one. That first one is Mint Macaron, and this one is Just Jade. There we go. And now let's do our sentiment. Glad you're my friend. Isn't that a sweet saying? Well, let's see. I think I'll take a little bit of Post-it tape. My plates are a little bit warped, so sometimes when that happens, the dies like to wiggle around. So you just put on some Post-it tape. All right, there we go. We've got that one. And now we'll do our deer. And I'm just going to take that circle die. Again, we're not getting the whole tree. We're just getting part of it. And I want it to kind of be up in the on the left-hand side. I'm going to put the deer on the right-hand side. All right, there we go. I think that's all the die cutting. Now we're just going to emboss our rectangle. And to emboss, you need plate 1 and plate 3. So let's put this in here and run that through. And there we go. All right, let's start putting our card together. We've got a card base that is crumb cake. I cut it in half on the long side, which is at 5 1/2, and then scored it at 4 1/4. The Designer Series paper is from the Pattern Party DSP pack. That is a free product you get when you spend over $150. It's one of the things you can choose. It's some of my favorite paper. I love that little rainbow paper. And then I've got the Pale Papaya and white trimmed ribbon. We're going to tie it in the middle. I feel like this ribbon is a little bit too bulky for a bow, so we're just going to do a knot. Okay, just tie it like that, and then grab your scissors and trim that at an angle like that. All right, let's put that rectangle on with some dimensionals. I'm going to put the dimensionals on so that kind of sandwiches that ribbon right there. And now I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to take just some adhesive and stick them on like that. Okay, so you don't want it to stick above the card or it won't fit in the envelope. So make sure that they aren't poking out up there. Okay, now for our tree. Put that right there. And then we need to punch out our deer. So with your deer builder punch, you just turn it around and punch it out. All right, so he's gonna get a dimensional 2. He or she? I don't know, what do you think? He or she? I think it's a she. Like that. And then we'll get our little sentiment. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the right side and regular adhesive on the left side because that already has a dimensional under it. So we need to make it even there. All right, last but not least, I'm going to put on one of these polished dots. And I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to pick those little dots up and lay them right there. And there you have it, a sweet little card. Don't be afraid to change the sentiment if you need something, maybe birthday. I think that would be a cute baby card as well. And make it your own. All right, if you have questions, let me know. Make sure you click the link here on YouTube to go back to my blog. There's a free PDF as well as 2 other Friends of the Forest projects. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.